Okay, hi. I'm Steve Beres. I'm an artist and musician from Fort Indian Town Gap, Pennsylvania. I grew up in Cressona area up until about 2 years ago, and I'm in this year's block of art.
What got you into art and music?
Um, well, art at least I've always had a slight interest growing up, but then once I entered my portfolio prep class in the senior year of my high school with Bill Whalen, I really started. It really kickstarted my interest in art. There was a specific project that he had assigned us that we were supposed to make these inkings similar to this artist Raymond Pettibone, who did a lot of art for different like punk bands of the '80s, like Black Flag. And I made two of those, and then I kept doing them, and then I did 100 that year, and it was just his whole class was just a very supportive, helpful environment to make that kind of stuff.
And what about with music? What got you there? Right
Oh,
there?
I mean, probably in middle school, a friend I think had introduced me to AC/DC, and I was like, I think I just connected with it because I recognized it. So then that made me want to go buy a guitar, and then I bought a guitar, and then pretty much from there I just started branching out into everything.
I noticed with your art you got a lot of an inspiration from pop art and surrealism. I'm wondering what appeals to you about that.
I think it's maybe the immediacy of the images. Like there's a I don't know if there's not a lot of vague areas, I guess, with it. Um, Most of the time, it's also, I think, the ease of it in general is I can just go on my computer, open up. It's not Photoshop, but it's like this kind of Photoshop app, and just start making stuff on there. Um, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's probably the best answer I can I can give you, to be honest with that.
On the flip side, what is it about rock that appeals to you?
Um, Also probably the simplicity is up there. Yeah, again, it's just the ease of getting the message through.
It's accessible.
It's accessible, and I think that's definitely important in an artistic field, to have whatever it is be accessible, so that essentially anybody can come into it, so it's not dominated by a single voice or social class or whatever.
I understand you are also doing some work as an actor. What led you to take the stage?
I don't know. Where'd you find that out?
I figured that's how you knew Lisa.
Oh yeah, Lisa was she was this like the director of the Blue Mountain High School's drama club for the 2 or 3 years that I was there. She was the director, so that's how we know each other. Is that she came in and started directing, and then I was like the student director for. I think we did Grease was what it was, but that's how I know Lisa.
Oh, so you were
Oh, so
talking.
you're a director, not an actor.
I guess. I mean, I was in Greece for a split second, and it was just a very like kind of off to the side cameo where I just like stood holding a guitar. But yeah,
Oh, well, that's fine. A director still contributes significantly
right.
to a play.
Yeah.
Would you like to explore that again at some point?
I mean, yeah, it'd be great. I still make like little videos with friends, just kind of for goofs and stuff. I mean, I know when I was doing stuff with this with Greece, I spent a lot of time trying to organize some sort of like in between scenes, having these little short, like minute long fake trailers for movies, that like as if the audience was in like a drive-in theater, and then each like every now and then they would see just some fake movie starring the kids in the thing. We only got one made, so it didn't really go too far, but yeah, I don't know.
That's nice. What is your favorite medium to work in?
Um, probably collage. I think collage is maybe the most therapeutic form of it all, because it's just sort of you just digging through old, not trash, but just like magazines and stuff that you haven't necessarily looked at. It's been like piling up in your room, so then you can just, and then it's I don't know. I don't know if it's like mathematical necessarily of just once you cut everything out, learning how to put it all together. But it's there's definitely some sort of process there.
Yeah, it's very orderly, but also got a little bit of chaoticness.
Right. Yeah.
What is something you'd like to try with your art and music in the future?
I mean, I've always kind of wanted to try pursuing sculpture or something more three-dimensional, something that kind of like takes up more space.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how I would go about doing that or what necessarily I would do with that. But I mean, also on top of that, I think I'm always trying to figure out some sort of collaborative efforts with music and seeing like what different offshoots of things that I've made that I can make with different groups of people and stuff like that.
Do you have any advice for other aspiring artists?
I mean, just do it. I mean, really, just if you're self-conscious about if you're not going to be good at it or something like that, I mean, I think that's all a bunch of garbage. I think you should just start making stuff, because I mean, with what I was talking about earlier in when I was in high school, those 100 inkings, yeah, the first 50 to 60 were definitely not good by any stretch of the imagination, but they were there to sort of help me figure out maybe what I wanted to do with my art and what I wanted to show and how to better portray those things. I mean, it's always helpful to look at whatever you're making as just like an exercise, I think. I mean, I obviously should have some sort of intention to make it slightly professional, but like if you're just doing it, just do it for yourself at that point. And then if there's some sort of outside person who's like paying you, or there's this promise of it being looked at, then maybe, yeah, like spend some more time trying to polish it off, but definitely just dive in, really.
All right, and what would you like to tell our viewers regarding the Love of Art?
It's a great organization, and I've loved doing it every time I've done. I mean, this is my first year doing it with the art, but going up to it with playing music and seeing some of my friends' art in it, it's been a great time, and I think you should come. You should submit for next year if you want. Just, yeah, definitely check it out.
All right. Thank you for sitting down with us, Steve.
Yeah, sure thing.